All right. Let's do some Bob Dylan songs. This is Fixing to Die. This is a song Bob Dylan recorded for his first album. We do see Timothée Chalamet play this in the movie A Complete Unknown. And we're going to circle back to this towards the end of the video with good reason. But the first song that Timothée Chalamet was taught by his guitar teacher, Larry Saltzman, to start him on his journey to learning to play guitar like Bob Dylan, was Masters of War.
You know, Bob is one of those guys where they say never plays the same thing once, you know. I think the first song that we did was Masters of War. And what did we do? We listened. I explained to him in that song just 2 or 3 chords were needed. I explained to him what they were. We listened to the record. He also sang from the very downbeat, literally E minor chord.
Apparently he learned to play on a $200 acoustic guitar. Now that's pretty great, but he could have saved himself £100 if he'd have got one of these, my signature model. But he learnt a simple version of Masters of War just using the chords E minor and D major in his first session, and at the time he couldn't play more than just the E minor chord and a little bit of a C chord. So if you want to learn a Bob Dylan song right away in the next 60 seconds, here's what to do. We strum an E minor chord, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with a slight emphasis on the 1. And we stay there, and that is essentially all the verse until we go briefly for 2, and then back to E minor. Come, you masters of war, you that build the big guns, you that build the death planes, you that build all the bombs, you that hide behind walls, sit behind desks. And then on the word no, I just want you to know I can see through your masks. And it's just on that last word of the second to last line of every verse that we change to the D chord, and then by the last word of the last line, we change back to that E minor. Simple as that. However, the song that I started this video with was called Fixing to Die. That's in drop D tuning. Very easy to get your guitar in drop D tuning. Just change string 6 down a whole tone to a D note, which means we can play a D major chord like this. And this is how Masters of War is actually played on the original recording on the breakthrough album The Freewheeling Bob Dylan from 1963. It's in drop D tuning based on a D minor chord, and this means we can play this song in the original key and add the authentic Dylan style strumming, which if you nail this, you can play basically all of Bob Dylan's back catalogue. And the other advantage to this is if you learn drop D tuning, you can play the 2 songs that Timothée Chalamet plays at the end of the movie when Dylan goes electric, which I will also show you before the end of this video. I ain't gonna work the Maggie's farm no more. But let me just go in detail into this strumming pattern, because if you can nail this, you can basically play any Bob Dylan song. To do that, we're going to also put a capo at the 3rd fret, and this song is then played with a D minor chord, which I'd recommend we play with fingers 1, 2 and 4. Little finger then on 3rd fret to play kind of a C add 9 with this signature strumming technique. This uses a combination of picking the root note, in this case on string 6, and lifting off fingers 1 and 2 to play the riff. But the strumming is always just strumming pairs of strings, rather than strumming down, down, up, down, or anything more beginner orientated. This is always focusing on a single string or on pairs or groups of 3 strings, and often hitting down strums on a pair of thicker strings and up strums on a pair of thinner strings. Mix that with a single string as a root note, and you have that Bob Dylan style strumming under your fingertips to be able to play any Bob Dylan song. There's also a couple of licks he does here. Hitting this 3rd fret on string 4 5 and 6, which is the drop D. Thing I'd like you to have a play with, because that's exactly the same as fixing to die, which we started this video with. Drop D tuning enables us to play power chords with one finger and do these slide downs. He starts off higher than fret 5 and then goes fret 5, and it's 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hitting the open strings between each one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and pick string 6, down, up, string 5, then 4. Once you got that, the verses basically that. All together. The really crucial technique is getting a single string pick and then down, up, hitting the middle strings and then the thinner strings. Middle strings on the down strum, thinner strings on the up strum. And then picking single strings out of a chord. The other signature Dylan technique is to pick open string 5, hammer on with the middle finger, and then open string 5 to hammer on with the first finger. And you can use that in your general playing. But it all comes from a very small picking motion, just from the wrist, and picking single strings and strumming just pairs of strings. Thicker strings on the down strum, thinner strings on the up strum. Now I did promise 2 more songs you can play in drop D tuning. Here's Maggie's Farm. This uses no capo, and it uses all the techniques that we've covered so far in this little Bob Dylan series. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. The only time you have to change from the D chord is go to an A major chord. When we hit It's a Shame, the way she makes you scrub the floor. And in verse 2, it's He finds you every time you slam the door. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's farm no more. Let's do it together. Same techniques we've worked through so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. I wake up in the morning, hold my hands and pray for rain. I got a head full of ideas that are driving me insane. It's a shame the way she makes me scrub the floor. Oh, I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. It Takes a Lot to Laugh just does the same thing with a capo at the 5th fret. At least this is the way it's played in the movie A Complete Unknown at the end of the film at the Newport Folk Festival. D major chord, sus4, normal D to sus2. Again, mostly staying just on one chord. There's some Bob Dylan songs you can have fun with. Here's another Bob Dylan video and a link to my new beginner's course. And intermediate course is following shortly. The link's there at andyguitar.co.uk. Loads of exclusive content over there. I hope to see you there. See you next time.